I wish they understood that it is based in sexual attraction, not an attitude towards sex or libido or arousal. Like those are all different things. And secondly, probably that there is the whole split attraction model. I wish more people kind of understood that. And oddly enough, when I explain that to some people, it really makes them think, and it makes me feel like there's a lot more people who could identify as ace out there than than they know.
That it's a little bit more common than they realize, for sure, especially in today's market looking for romantic partners. I've run into more asexual people today than 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Having terms for it, I think, helps people understand themselves better, and it's not just like labeling something for the sake of labeling something.
I wish people thought of it as being more similar to being gay. I would often say, and I still say that, if you would not ask a gay person this regarding an opposite gender, you should not ask an ace person whatever that is about the same gender. I remember people saying you should look at the Australian firefighter calendars to just test.
It's not a disorder, it's not a disease, it's just part of normal human sexual experience, right?
That we are absolutely perfect the way we are. No one is broken, and that it's just like any other sexuality. Also, stop gatekeeping in the queer community. That would also be great.
I think it comes back to that just wanting people to recognize that other people can have different experiences, and it doesn't invalidate your own experience, right? We have different experiences about everything, from the foods we like to eat to the clothes we like to wear to the styles of music we enjoy listening to. That does you liking something or not liking something, or experiencing something or not experiencing something, doesn't invalidate my sense of myself. And I think that that's the most important thing for any identity, is just that idea that we can identify different ways, and it doesn't mean that you are less or anything like that.
I really want them to understand that this is not a choice, and we were born in this way. We don't find people attractive in a sexual way.
It's not something that can be fixed. It's not a choice. And you don't have to want sex to be human. That's something that I've heard people say just kind of flippantly and not really meaning to be hurtful by it, but it's a really hurtful thing to say. Sex isn't the normal thing for everybody, and it would be cool if people understood that.
It doesn't just mean everything that has to do anything with sex is complete, a scary thing, and we don't want to even go close to it. It can mean so many things, and there's so many different sides to it.
The biggest thing is just that it's a giant umbrella term, because people think it's one thing, and it's not one thing. It's a huge variety of experiences. And yeah, it's you have to understand, it's saying you're a sexual person. But what does that mean? That's a huge variety of experiences, and the asexual experience is just as broad.
So many people think that it's caused by something. Maybe it's a physical thing, a hormone imbalance, or a mental block. Maybe you've had trauma, and it's it's not caused by something any more than being gay is caused by something. Then having blue eyes is caused by something. It's just who you are. It's how you're put together. And people, especially ones who just cannot seem to grasp the idea of not finding anyone sexually attractive, they're just they're looking for the reason. They're but why are you that way? I don't know. Why are you inquisitive and asking personal questions of someone? I don't know.
Nothing is wrong with our hormones, and most of us haven't been traumatized.
Honestly, for a lot of people, just that it exists, and that it's not related to being sick, mentally, a mental disability, which many people seem to associate it with, or that's related to trauma, that it's just, that it exists, and that it's a normal think to be, that it's just as valid as any other sexual identity.
That it's about attraction. People think it's about action or not wanting or caring about sex that much, but it's the attraction piece that's very important when it comes to the ace identity.
I think often it gets confused with celibacy. People understood that like sexuality isn't necessarily a choice, it's who we are. Like we can exist in such a wide variety. You can be like a sex positive asexual, and that doesn't invalidate at all. And it's really like we can do everything else that everyone else does. We're still proud to be ace. And I think a lot of people hate our identity or tell us, that's weird, that's not valid, and like I'm here to say that it is.
I feel like a lot of people confuse asexuality or just don't know because they've never been really properly educated. Asexuality with celibacy, or don't understand that there are different people living it in different ways, so just experiencing it in different ways. So just that it's not that easy to define, and also maybe a different thing also, that it's kind of hard to know for sure, because asexuality in essence is a lack of something, right? And it's much harder to define the lack of something or find that you're lacking something than that you have something. If you have something, then you will know, right? But if you're lacking something, you can always wonder, am I actually, or do I have to wait for it, or something like that? So yeah, I guess the difficulty surrounding different definitions, and also just how different the experiences of asexual people can be.
I wish that people understood that, that if anything, there are, of course there are sexuals, but also at the same time that it's genuine sexual orientation. I've gotten into so many arguments and about people's, it's not a real sexual orientation. I'm like, well, it is a real sexual orientation and everything. And especially the one thing that I wish the most is that people also realize that it's not just a white thing. It's not just something that just white people, white cisgender people, able-bodied people, heterosex people, it's not just them. It's a whole spectrum of there are black asexuals like me. There are, asexuals of all types of color. It's not just white people. It's not just cis people. It's all types, and that, because I have seen that a lot, that it's sometimes people do forget that, we are there, that black asexuals to exist. And it sucks, especially because, we have Yasmin Dubois, who is a huge part of the ace community. We have Marshall Blount. We have a lot of ace activists who are black, who have been constantly trying to, say, hey, we exist. Hey, this is not okay.
I think a lot of people don't understand that being asexual is not equivalent to being unable to or being disinterested in love. It also doesn't automatically equate to never wanting or never being able to have sex. And that every asexual person is unique. That's why it's a spectrum. We all have different attractions and aversions and experiences and perceptions, and that's what makes it just as beautiful as any other sexual orientation.
I would want them to understand that just because sexual or romantic love might not be part of our lives, it doesn't mean that we are not loving people. Like, we're not robots. We have emotions. We're also not like children.
It is a mature state of being. That's something that bothered me growing up and still bothers me even though I'm 27. I feel like people still don't always understand that it's valid, and I am not going to grow out of it, I think.
I wish people understood it better, just because, people like me early on, I could have, used the term 20 years ago when I had no idea what it was. I wish they understood what it actually means instead of like, oh, you're a prude, or oh, you just, you know.
Well, for starters, I wish schools would have, comprehensive sex ed so that, kids wouldn't have to have gone what I went through, where I was searching for years looking for what, the word that I was looking for that would have made, everything make sense for me.
You can support our short film about asexuality by contributing to our crowdfunding campaign through the link in our bio. Thank you.